Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? We would like to start our board meeting, and at this time, I'm going to turn our board meeting over to our president, Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw?
Thank you, Dr. Petit. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Winslow Township Board of Education regular Board of Education meeting of Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Public notice of this meeting was given to all board members and associates in a notice dated January 9th, 2025. Adequate and electronic notice of this public meeting has been provided, specifying the time, place, and manner in which this meeting is being conducted. It was advertised in the Courier Post, posted in all schools, the administration office, the municipal building, the library, Bud Dubel Center, Edgewood Acres, Elmtown, and the Winslow Township office. Our mission statement: the mission of the Winslow Township School District, a large, diverse, and growing community, is to educate all students to become independent, lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and caring and confident members of their community. The district, in a partnership with the community and in a climate of cooperation and mutual respect, will provide an academic environment which values excellence and diversity, encourages students to strive for personal excellence, and assists them in acquiring the knowledge, skills, and attitudes necessary to contribute positively to a rapidly changing world. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark?
Here.
Ms. Dredden? Ms. Gloyd?
Present.
Ms. Martin? Present. Mr. McManus? Ms. Peterson?
Present.
Ms. Pitts?
Ms. Pitts will be absent tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Thomas?
Here.
And Mr. Shaw?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clark, can you read the district goals, please?
Sure. 2024-2025 district goals. Number one, continue to implement best practices for delivering instruction to students. This shall conduct to monitor teaching and learning. B, consistently review student assessment data to guide and redirect teaching. C, continue to provide supplemental activities, for example, tutoring and enrichment areas to address student deficiencies. D, number two, students and staff. A, B, C, read D, number three, increase A, B, C, to better D.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Moving on to awards and presentations.
Yes, President Shaw, members of the board, community, we have 3 presentations this evening. First, we would like to start with our Chef's Challenge, and I will ask Dr. Carter if he can come to the podium to preside over this presentation. Following the Chef's Challenge, we have a performance by School 6, followed by the presentation of awards to former board members. At this time, Dr. Carter, would you present the Chef's Challenge awards? Thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So welcome everyone to the 15th annual Future Chefs event. I am Dr. Carter. I'm the principal of School 5 and host of tonight's Future Chefs Challenge. So the whole concept of this competition is to help educate kids about healthy eating habits. Too often we hear about obesity in kids and kids not making the right choices in terms of their eating habits. This year, the students submitted their favorite main dish recipes. Final judging was based on taste, originality, ease of preparation, healthy attributes, kid appeal, and plate presentation. And so just a bit about the timeline in preparation for this event. Students from schools 5 and 6 filled out recipe cards. The food service office narrowed down the recipes to 2 students per school. The 4 finalists were formally invited to a culinary competition cook-off today, March 26th, which started at 5 p.m. Just to note, all finalists will receive a prize package, with the champion also receiving the grand prize. So now let me introduce the judges in today's event. Winslow Township School Board member, Wanda Glaude. Winslow Township School Board member, Jerry McManus. Winslow Township School Board member, Michael Clark. Winslow Township business owner, Sal Marciante, owner of Juliana Pizza. Community Care Food and Clothing Pantry, a nonprofit organization here in Winslow Township, owner Mario Partey. The Village of Camden County Incorporated, nonprofit organization here in Winslow Township, Director Camille Williams. Young people made it feel welcome, don't they? So the finalists had the competition earlier today, and we are here to announce the winner. But before doing so, I'd like to introduce the contestants. Out of School 5, Alicia Addison. Alicia, raise your hand back there. Alicia prepared homemade beef sliders. And from school number 6, we have Arian Williams. Arian prepared I'm starting to think School 6 has the home court advantage. So Arian, as you guys saw, prepared sweet and spicy salmon bites. Also from school number 5, we have Kelsey Jones, who prepared homemade chicken noodle soup. And also from school number 6, we have Taylor Young, who prepared chicken Alfredo. Great job and congratulations to all of our students. At this time, I am going to announce the winners. Our runners-up are Alicia Addison and Arian Williams. Ladies, you guys can come forward. Contestants, once you're called, you can actually come to the table right over there on the far left-hand side. All right, so our second place winner is Kelsey Jones. And our 2025 Future Chefs winner is Taylor Young. Once again, congratulations to all the contestants, especially judges and students for your participation. Thank you to the Winslow Township School District for hosting the event. And a special thank you goes to Sodexo's Colleen Lilich, Ray Watkins, and staff for hosting this competition. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Poteet, that concludes our presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Carter. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a performance by school number 6. I would ask the principal, Ms. Brown, if she would please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ms. Brown, principal of School 6. Congratulations, Taylor. Congratulations to all the chefs. Women's History Month is our focus for March. It was actually started in 1987. This evening, we will have 3 classes present information for you. The classes were given a charge of conducting research and creatively presenting it. So this evening, we have 3 classes with 3 different women that will span from the early 1900s until present day.
That's here. Pass that.
Good evening. Good evening. Our Women's History Month spotlight, brought to you by Miss Peterson's homeroom, is Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson was a brilliant mathematician who worked for NASA and helped send astronauts to space. She was born in 1918 and loved math from a young age. She worked as a human computer, calculating important flight paths for missions, including the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969. Today's WNC Winslow News is here with Johnson at NASA headquarters. Our reporter Corbin is here to lead our very important press conference. Thank you. Tonight I am here with Katherine Johnson as she shares with us details about how she changed the world and space forever. Miss Johnson, come on out. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for having me. We are here this evening to celebrate your accomplishments. We will be taking some questions from the reporters in the crowd. You.
What made you want to become a mathematician?
I wanted to become a mathematician because I love to count everything. I counted everything I could, like dishes, spoons, and forks I washed. How did you feel when you worked on the first flight to space? I felt scared, but I knew I could do it.
How did you solve really hard math problems for space missions?
I just kept trying my best and trying different ways to solve problems. I love math so much that I just want to keep on solving problems.
What was the biggest challenge you faced as a Black woman working in science?
The biggest challenge I found while working at NASA was being taken seriously because I was a Black woman. Back then, many people did not think that women could solve math problems, and we were ignored.
Can you tell us what it's like to help astronauts go to space?
I was honored to be trusted by John Glennon. He would not go into space unless I checked the calculations. Miss Johnson, thank you for coming to speak with us tonight. Mila, back to you in the studio.
Thank you. Thank you, Corbin. It is clear to see that Katherine Johnson's work was crucial to space travel, and she overcame many challenges as an African-American woman in science. Katherine Johnson received many awards for her contributions, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Sadly, Katherine Johnson passed away in 2020 at the age of 101.
Wow.
Next to each other, one. This one. Don't lose your card. There you go, Mike. Thanks.
Keep going. Twinkle, twinkle. Keep going. Like, because we're not set.
I might stutter and cook.
Down, so he's holding this.
If I stutter, I'm cooked. Tonight, Miss Carter and Miss Croston class will present a poem about Serena Williams.
Serena's power. Serena steps on the court, ready to play. With a fierce smile, she's here to stay. With her racket in hand, she's focused and bold. Her story's strength is one to be told.
From Compton, she dreamed and worked so hard. Tennis was tough, but she played the card. She practiced each day, never giving up, even when times were rough and tough.
Her serve is fast, her shot is smart. She played with courage and she worked with art. She won so many, but never quits. Her passion and power will never miss a hit. Serena teaches us to never back down, to wear our pride like a golden crown. If you believe yourself and keep reaching high, you can do anything. Just give it a try. She faces challenges big and small. Oh, Williams. Good luck, Serena. And chase your dreams with hard work and heart.
Thank you for listening to our poem, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation on Serena Williams. Mrs. Gaines's class welcomes you to our skit, Ava DuVernay, a trailblazer in film. Ava DuVernay is a groundbreaking filmmaker known for her powerful storytelling and dedication to social justice. Ava grew up with a passion for filmmaking. She started her career as a publicist, but soon found her true calling behind. Ava's first feature film, I Will Follow, was released in 2010. It tells the story of a woman dealing with grief after the loss of a loved one. Ava's films like Selma and 13th have received critical acclaim and sparked important conversations about race and justice. Ava made history with her film Selma, becoming the first African American woman to be nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Director. Ava DuVernay continues to break barriers and inspire future generations of filmmakers. Thank you for watching our skit, Ava DuVernay, a trailblazer in film. Thank you!
So I'd like to thank the parents for bringing your students out. I'd like to thank and acknowledge the teachers for their hard work and dedication.
Thank you, Ms. Brown and school number 6 for an excellent presentation. At this time, we will have the presentation of awards to our former board members. And at this time, we'll turn our board meeting back over to our president, Mr. John Shaw. Mr. Davis. Would you ask Dr. Carcamo the preschool information day? This is going to be on the website tomorrow. All right?
Give everybody.
I know, congratulations. Congratulations. He was in there running that.
We will give
Congratulations. You guys see what running that? Good night. We gotta start that. Don't know that they're welcome to stay. Get out.
We'll give them a couple minutes to leave. Yeah. Is this one? Yeah, it'll work. Fine. Oh, there she is. All right. All right. Mr. Askew, can you come up here first, please? Something gets a little quieter. Our first plaque is going to be presented to Mr. Anthony Askew, who served on our board from February 2024 to December 2024. The plaque says, presented to Anthony Askew in recognition of loyal service as a member of the Board of Education of Winslow Township, February 2024 to December 2024. Askew, this is from all the board members. Thank you very much for your dedicated service to the staff of Winslow Township. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it, sir. Mr. Chester, could you please come up? How you doing, sir? This plaque is presented to Mr. Robert Chester in recognition of a loyal service as a member of the Board of Education of Winslow Township, November 2024 to December 2024. From all the board members of the Winslow Township Board of Education, Dr. Poteet and Ms. Boyle, Dr. Carcamo, and all the staff of Winslow Township. Thank you for all your service to the students and teachers and staff for Winslow Township. Thank you very much again, sir. Last but not least, Ms. Nieves, could you please come up? Plaque says, presented to Ms. Rebecca Nieves in recognition of a loyal service as a member of the Winslow Township Board of Education, January 22nd, December 24, January 2022 to December 2024. From all the members of the Winslow Township Board of Education. Thank you very much. That concludes our presentations to all our former board members.
Can Mr. Can your vice president for a second?
Yeah. Mr. Thomas?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen on the board and constituents and stakeholders, I'd like to ask for a 30-second moment of silence. This past, I believe it was Sunday, we had a tragic accident where some people lost their lives. They were students of our building. So at this time, I'm just going to ask that you bow your head and ask for 30 seconds of silence. Thank you.
Dr. Poteet, or Ms. Boyle, sorry. Moving on to correspondence.
We have none this evening, Mr. President.
Can I have a motion to approve the following meeting minutes of our regular board meeting, March 12th, open session?
Peterson moved for approval of the regular Board of Education meeting held on March the 12th, open session.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
Moving on to board committee reports. Mr. Thomas, is there anything out of the athletic committee?
Yes, I do there, Mr. President. Members of our athletic community is John Shaw, Wanda Glaude, myself, Joe Thomas. I'd just like to give you some updates on our Winslow Spring Athletics. As you well know, we are for 2024, we are 4-team state champion, and we're seeking to get 2 more to make it a 6 state champion run in the year 2024, 2025. And I'd like to talk about our middle school Winslow Spring Athletic baseball. We got 14 varsity players. Their first game is tomorrow. Our softball team, this is middle school, 20 varsity players. Our track and field, middle school, we got 56 registered players, and that's for our middle school. And now our high school Winslow Spring Athletic 2025. Baseball, varsity players, 17, junior varsity, 13. Softball, varsity, 16 players, JV, 10 players. Boys lacrosse, 15 players. Girls lacrosse, 20 varsity, 22 JV. And now, our boys track team, we have 80 varsity track members. Girls track and field, 54 registered members. Boys tennis, 16 varsity players. And for the first time ever, Winslow Edgewood history, our girls flag of football team, 14 varsity players, 8 JV players. They had their first game yesterday with a good effort. They fell, but they are winners in our heart. Let's give them all a round of applause. And that's the report there, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Ms. Martin, is there anything from the Citizens Advisory Committee? And anything from the Education Committee?
Fine.
Okay. Mr. McManus, anything from the Marketing Committee?
Nothing new, save we have the upcoming meeting, 1:30 this upcoming Saturday.
Ms. Dredden, the Operations Committee meeting report? Okay.
The Operations Committee met on Tuesday, March 25th, 2025 at 5:30. In attendance were Ms. Dredden, Committee Chair, Mr. Shaw, Board President, and Mr. McManus. Also in attendance were Ms. Boyle and Ms. Chico, and the following items were discussed. The high school HVAC. We had a meeting with Land Architects in order to get an update on the status of the project. Land provided a timetable to get the project past the OSC review and out to bid. Fee for the project was brought up and discussed. The fee, which was based on the cost of construction, had not been adjusted since the last estimate. At current estimated costs, Land's fee could be as high as $1.1 million. They are requesting an additional $198,905, which would actually bring their total fee for the project up to $534,719, which is still 613 plus, less than what it could have been. This increase is on the March 26, 2025 agenda for approval. 24-25 budgeted capital projects and other projects are being held or run through EI Associates. So big documents were released to bidders on March 12, 2025 for the upgrades to the HVAC systems at School 5 and School 6. Had an addendum which was issued, I said yesterday, that would have been Monday, and bids are due to come in on April 3rd, 2025. We are still waiting for the approval from the School Development Authority for the School 5 project. And there are several other projects scheduled in 24-25 budget. A roof replacement at the administration building. EI's fee schedule is on the March 26th addendum for approval. I think they're charging us 5.8%. A grease trap replacement at schools 1 through 4. This project is currently on hold. Estimated funds needed to do this project, according to EI Associates, our budget isn't sufficient, so we're putting it on hold. We're doing a partial roof replacement at the high school J wing. EISB will be on tonight's addendum as well for approval. I believe they're charging us 4.11% of construction costs, and the construction of a pole barn for the athletics at the high school has already been. We also had an additional project that popped up, which was the middle school office HVAC. That fee has been approved. EI is moving forward with that project. And then the third thing we discussed was the 25-26 budget. The tentative budget was presented and submitted to the county office for review. The district received an additional $3.2 million in state aid to support the general operating fund. We also anticipated a 2% increase in the tax levy. These funds will be used to cover additional costs to service special ed tuition costs, as well as transportation to get our students to and from their out-of-district placements. The funds will also be utilized to secure teacher aides in the classroom and the increase in health benefit costs. It allows for the purchase of 4 school buses and the replacement of playgrounds at our elementary school. The public hearing for the 25-26 budget is scheduled to be held on Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The board will be asked to approve the budget at that time. Other items under consideration: unit negotiation. Teachers and administrators' contracts end as of June 30th, 2025. The balance of HVAC system upgrades. Funding will be needed to be sourced for schools 1, 2, and 4. Funding is in place for schools 5, 6, the high school, and if the budget passed, the middle school. And then federal funding. The board's amount remain unknown at this time. The meeting adjourned at 6:25 p.m. and the next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 29th, 2025.
Thank you, Ms. Boyle. Is there a representative from the policy committee? Move on from discuss the policy committee at the next meeting. Mr. Thomas, do you have anything from the 2 township committees that you're on?
I do, but before I get there, Mr. President, I'd like to make a emergency news break announcement amending the athletic committee report. And this just came in off the wire. Our coach Shanika Brown was named the NewJersey.com 2024-2025 Girls Indoor Track and Field Coach of the Year. And our coach Curtis Custis was named an NJ.com 2020-24 Boys Indoor Track and Field Coach of the Year. We had a Alliance meeting on March the 24th where they got several events that are coming up on April 29th, 2025. They have a cyber safety social media at the municipal courtroom that starts at 6 p.m. On May 8th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here in this very building at the Winslow Middle School. They have a spring event. On May 16th, 2025, 6th grade dance, 6:30 to 7 at the school number 6 library. On June 21st, 2025 is Juneteenth, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. New Brooklyn Park. July 4th, 2025, right here again at our own Winslow Middle School is the fireworks. And them fireworks start at 6:30. On August 23rd, 2025 is the Winslow Family Day from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that will seem to be back at the New Brooklyn Park. And National Night Out is August the 5th, 2025, and a fall festival at Miller's Farm, October the 4th, 2025. And that concludes the drug analysis report.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. And that's great news about both track coaches being named Coach of the Year, which doesn't surprise me because they both do an outstanding job. Moving on to the planning board. The only news I have out of the planning board was another development was proposed over on the by Hay Road, and that was shot down, and it will have to be brought back because they didn't want to put sidewalks in around their development for whatever reason. And a bunch of us brought up the sidewalk issue because when children move in, there's no safe way for them to move around the development and wait for the school buses or anything else of that nature. So they're forced to come back and represent at the planning board for us. So that will come back sometime around June with hopefully sidewalks in their building plans. So that's the only thing I have from the planning board meeting. Okay. Moving on to the superintendent's report. Can I get a motion to approve the superintendent's report as it's recommended on our agenda?
Peterson moved for approval of the superintendent's report, recommended approval, items A and B, down on page 3 through 8.
Any questions?
Yeah, I had one question. I was reading through the policy, 9320.
What page?
Getting to that.
Oh.
My friend Joe over there. It would be on page 2, chapter 4A. Actually appears, on page 2, it says school officials shall not notify student or students' parents in the instances of suspected child abuse or neglect. But at the very end of the same regulation, it's the any kind of suspected child abuse gets reported directly to law enforcement.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
yes,
Probably more for the community's consumption for that in case somebody had a question.
yes,
You don't want to endanger one of the children going home to report.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's the purpose.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
And I have a motion to pass the business administrator board secretary's report as it appears on our agenda as it's recommended.
Peterson moved for approval of the business administrative board secretary's report as indicated on the agenda found in item A and B, page 8 through 11.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has.
Can I get a motion on the personnel report as it's recommended for approval?
Peterson moved for approval of the personnel report as recommended by our superintendent found in item A, 1 through 6, page 12 through 13.
Second, Ms. Martin.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin, Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
Moving on to our addendum. Everybody wants to take a couple of seconds to look at the addendum. Can I have a motion to approve the superintendent's report on the addendum as the superintendent recommends it for approval?
President Shaw,
Yes,
if
sir.
I could pose just a question. On number 4, the first page of the addendum, there's assistant principals. We're going to be adding a few of them, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then what would be the impact on the budget?
It will not have any impact on the 25-26 school year budget. We are recommending to have those assistant principals out of this existing budget that we're presently in.
Excellent, thank you.
You ready for the motion?
Yes, sir. I mean, ma'am. I'm sorry.
a second?
Peterson move for approval of the superintendent report as recommended by our superintendent, found in item A through 1 through 4, page 1.
Second, Ms. Martin.
Any more questions? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude, Ms. Martin. Yes. Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
May I have a motion to pass may I have a motion on the board secretary's report as it's recommended for approval from this, on the agenda?
Peterson move for approval of the business administrator board secretary's report as she recommends. Item A, 1 through 7, found on page 2 through 3.
Second, Ms. Martin.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin. Yes. Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
Moving on to the personnel report on the addendum. Can I have a motion to approve the personnel report as the superintendent recommends it for approval?
Peterson move for approval of the personnel report as recommended by our superintendent, found in item A, 1 through 3, found on page 4.
Second, Ms. Martin.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Ms. Dredden, Ms. Claude,
Yes.
Ms. Martin. Yes. Mr. McManus,
Yes.
Ms. Peterson,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
and Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.
Moving on to the Open Public Records Act requests. Ms. Boyle, are there any Oprah requests?
Yes, Mr. President, between March 7th, 2025 and March 20th, 2025, we responded to one request from Anna Pantero, Jump Ahead Pediatrics. She requested scoring of proposals for the RFP 2025-06, Learning Disabilities Consultant Services. That request was approved. Those documents were supplied.
Thank you, Ms. Boyle. Dr. Poteet, do we have any informational items tonight?
Yes, we do. I have 3 information items for this evening. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, if you would look in your brown folders, you will see a report, a blue report. If you would take that report out, I would appreciate it. I do not intend to go word for word through this report, but I just want to highlight some things, bring it to your attention. You'll have an opportunity, of course, to read it at your leisure. And at our next board meeting, if you have any additional questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And of course, if you have questions tonight, I will be able to answer them. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, as you know, we had received additional funding from the Department of Education about a year ago. School 1, School 6, and the high school receive additional funding and technical assistance to increase academic performance and graduation rate. If you would open your report to page number 2, the New Jersey Department of Education conducted a desk monitoring of the Winslow Township School District to evaluate compliance and federal requirements This desk monitoring focused on general and program-specific requirements associated with the administration of grant programs authorized under the Elementary and Secondary Education Act and reauthorized by the Every Student Succeeds Act and the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Once we received those funds, of course, the Department of Education was going to return to monitor how those funds were spent according to the guidelines that were presented to us once we received those awards. If you would turn to page 3, on page 3, there's a chart that shows the federal grant programs covered in this desk monitoring, along with the amount for the fiscal year 25. And if you look at those amounts, it goes down Title I through Title IV, the IDEA basic and IDEA preschool grant. And at the bottom, you see a total of $4.8 million. If you look below that, there's a compliance review where they would rate each of the categories that were monitored. If you get met, meaning if you met the requirements, we receive the satisfactory evidence of support of compliance, meaning we've done what was asked of us. If you receive a met with recommendations, inadequate evidence of compliance with quality concerns, and if you did not meet the regulations, it was insufficient evidence to support the compliance. So on page 3 at the bottom, Title I, and it spells out the areas, and the rating is on the side. So you'll see Title I, Part A, the ratings, we met all the requirements. If you turn to page 4, at the top, met all the requirements. Title I, SIA, meaning supplemental funding, additional monies that were received in addition to the Title I funding. You'll see that all the requirements were met. Title II, Part A, those areas that were applicable, we met those requirements. If you turn to page 5, at the top, we met the additional requirements for Title II. Under that, Title III, we met all the requirements. Title IV, Part A, you'll see the very first one. It says program requirement A1 met with recommendations. And I'll explain that to you as we move forward. And the third one, program requirements A3, we did not meet those requirements. So if you turn to page 5, all of the IDEA requirements were met where applicable. Now, right below, of course, you see we're met with the recommendation. The requirement, A1 reads, when the school district, that's the LEA, when the school district receives more than $30,000 in funding, it must describe the needs assessment process for Title IV-A, include an overview of which stakeholders attended the discussion, when it was conducted, what data the team used to inform decisions, and what the results of the assessment were. If you look at the bottom, basically the recommendation is, it is recommended that the school district enhance its efforts to gather, collaborate with stakeholders, summarize, and present a needs assessment in a format that clearly demonstrates a robust, data-driven process. This process will ultimately lead to more effective Title IV-1 activities and outcomes. So that was we did meet it, but they're making this recommendation so that we can present it in a more clarified way. If you move to page 7, where it says not met, and basically not met as appropriate, evidence toward resolution of any not met rating must be submitted in the form of a corrective action plan. So this particular area that was not met, the school district must submit a corrective action plan within 30 business days of receipt of this report. We received this report you see on the front of the report March 21st. We must present this, of course, in a public meeting to our board and to the community. And the 30 days would be April 21st, but since we'll be on vacation, it's our responsibility to try to get this off to the Department of Education before we go on vacation. If you look down to the middle of the page, it's pretty much the same. What is the requirement? The requirement for this particular area, A3, when the school district uses funds for technology, it spends a maximum of 15% of its funds for purchasing technology infrastructure and a minimum of 85% for professional development on the effective use of technology. Again, basically, they made the recommendation. In order for the school district to comply with the 15% cap and 85% minimum for professional development, the school district must rebudget and reallocate the funds. Documentation of this process, including revised budget allocations and a professional development plan, must be submitted. Our team, under the direction of Dr. Carcamo, will be putting together this corrective action plan, and we will be submitting this plan to the Department of Education. That pretty much concludes the report. There's a lot of specific details. If you have an opportunity to read it thoroughly, and at our next board meeting, if you have any additional questions, I'll be more than happy to respond. If you have any questions in reference to this report now, I'll answer any questions you may have at this time. Yes, ma'am.
If I'm reading this properly, it looks like the amount that they're talking about is about $6,500.
Yes, yes.
Or $1 million. Okay.
Yes, yes. Every penny needs to be accounted for according to the guidelines and the regulations. Every federal dollar we receive, of course, is always monitored. They will be expecting our corrective action plan, as I stated earlier, within the 30-day guideline. Any additional questions, or I move on to the next item?
Carcamo has a question.
Thank you, Dr. Carcamo, for the clarification. You were able to hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think our parents and community have been waiting for this information. Our preschool registration. The preschool registration will be April the 14th, 15th, and 16th from 10 a.m. to 2:24 p.m. at schools 1 through 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this information will be on our website tomorrow, as well as our summer camp. Our summer camp will begin June 23rd to August the 1st. Flyers will be distributed April the 1st. Again, this information will appear on our website tomorrow. And those parents, we've already put out our interests. So we have that information. Now it's time for the parents to register their children ASAP. These seats have a tendency to fill up very, very fast, and we're encouraging all parents, if you're interested in registering your child, please do so as soon as possible.
Dr. Poteet, didn't I see something about that on the website today, this afternoon?
Well, was it put up already, Dr. Carcamo?
It was. It was on the website this afternoon around 2 o'clock. I saw it. Yes, I did.
Well, that's good, Ms. Peterson, because see, did I tell you it's going to be on the website? Okay, good.
Dr. Poteet, would that be put communications department? Sort of a joke.
Is it possible?
We will try to get this information out. And I think at this point, just so that we make sure everyone, I'll do a robocall to the community to let them know that this is taking place. Again, seats fill up very, very fast in our preschool as well as our summer camp. We take pride in having one of the best affordable summer camps in South Jersey. So I will do a robocall to support this. My last information item, and I think is important for all of us, we received a statement from the Commissioner of Education in reference to our president's executive order to dismantle the United States Department of Education. Basically, in paraphrase, the Commissioner of Education is basically saying to us, we understand that the department is being dismantled. However, all policies, procedures that are already in place in the state of New Jersey will be maintained and supported. That there will be no changes at this point in our quality of services and the funding that they provide. However, he did point out that we have not received any word on the federal funding from the federal government. We were told in my superintendent's roundtable meeting by Dr. Baza, who's the executive director of the New Jersey Association of School Administrators, according to his contacts through the Department of Education, that the money is coming, that we are going to receive the money. But the only question at this point is when, and are we going to receive the exact amount that we would normally receive, which is $5 million. So at this point, everybody's in a waiting situation. No one knows exactly when that disbursement will take place. So we're just waiting. We'll keep you posted. But at this point, I was also on the website with our Attorney General, and he made it very clear that in as much as the federal government may pass or set down guidelines, that does not affect the state guidelines for education, and that they want us to just continue. They're going to fight to make sure we maintain quality education for all students in the state of New Jersey. And he also wanted to make sure that all of the teachers, administrators, more importantly, the parents in this community, that the state is going to run interference for us and do whatever they can to maintain a quality education. Mr. President, that concludes my information items for this evening. Are there any additional questions?
So the largest percentage of the federal funds are Title I. And we're hopeful that we will still receive the Title I.
Well, when we look at the overall amount, we're looking at Title I through IV and IDEA. Yeah.
And Dr. Poteet, from what you were saying, you still expect federal funding of that $5 million mark to come through?
Yes, we were not told that there would be a cut based on the information we've received, in as much as the Department of Education may be dismantled. All the functions of the Department of Education are going to be passed over to another department somewhere in the federal government, but the funding should not be affected. The only thing everyone is waiting for at this point is when, because we have budget timelines that we're trying to put in place, and at this point, we're hoping that we receive it very soon. That concludes.
Thank you. I've had conversations with our local legislators, and they pretty much said the same thing, and it's just, a matter of the when. So I've been getting the same information as you have, Doc. All right. Moving on to old business. Does anybody have any old business?
Mr. President, I do have some old business. As discussed at our last board meeting, back in November board meeting, we had two stakeholders come up, one Mr. Robert Johnson and another Mr. Marcy Tomasello, who presented some names to possibly get our track named after. After meeting with the committee and meeting with the process of that, once again, I'm not asking for a vote on it. It's not time to vote on it, but I am asking for us to be able to open up a portal on the website for the community to weigh in and for everybody to get whatever conversation they have for the next few months before we make a determination. So I'm asking that we can open up a portal on the website for the public, for the stakeholders, in a democracy way where people can come in and voice their opinion for or against that situation.
Mr. Thomas, sure, we can assist with that. I do want to point out to the board and the community that that process includes public hearings on that recommendation, which means, let's say, if you want to start in April, each board member will have an opportunity, of course, as you are now sitting to listen to whatever the comments are. So let's say April, both board meetings in April, both board meetings in May, and if you decide maybe let's say June, each of those board meetings, you must set aside a time for the community to come before you to make comments on that recommendation. So Mr. Thomas has indicated that there are two individuals who are being recommended. The community can come before this board and make comment on one or the other. And at some point, if you decide, for example, you're going to bring public comment on this issue to a close in June, then it's up to the full board to vote on whichever one you feel received the most support. So at this time, Mr. Thomas, do you have a timeline? Is the committee recommending a timeline as to when you want to get started and when you want to bring closure to it? So as we continue to support you, for example, I would like to be able to say that the board is opening to the community board meetings, April, whatever the dates are, May, June, and also let them know at the June meeting and the last June meeting that the board will take a vote. So if you give me just a little more detail, we'll be able to put it out there so the community is clear on the process and what role they play in the voting.
I think them dates, I will check with the committee, but I believe them dates you have will suffice in what we're trying to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Is there any other old business?
I've got a question just regarding the tentative budget from last meeting. I saw in the meeting minutes from the operations committee that we've received an additional 3.2 roughly million in state aid. Is that additional to what we had planned for in that meeting a couple weeks ago?
No, that was already reported on. Tentative budget, those figures were anticipated. As I explained during the operation committee, we were budgeting flat, meaning not anticipating getting any additional state aid, just at the same level. However, the needs grew. For instance, if we needed additional aids, or we wanted to adjust the pricing in order to get the people to come in, that expense would have grown. We did not have a balanced budget. We had more needs than revenue. The fact that that 3 million came in helped balance us. So now we're in a good position. If we had not gotten that, or even at the time, we could have received a cut in state aid, although they told us the maximum amount would have been 3% of certain fundings. And I think it was 1.6 million we could have potentially lost. We didn't lose it. Trying to say, just please don't penalize us. However, they ended up giving us money, which helped bridge that gap.
Okay, so just to make clear for myself, this
Yes.
is what we planned in that tentative budget, this 3.2.
Yes, that's in
Okay.
that tentative budget.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other new business? Mr. Long, you ready for public comment?
I am. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mr. Long.
The Winslow Township Board of Education highly values the input of citizens in making the important decisions that affect the children of our community. We believe in the rights of citizens to observe board meetings, to ensure that all our citizens have the opportunity to attend school board meetings and offer comment, and to ensure that the board can conduct the important business of the district. We'd ask that the speakers follow the following guidelines for making public comment. The board secretary will recognize those individuals in the audience who wish to make public comment, and we'd ask that you respect the following procedures. 1, all members of the public attending school board meetings must treat each other and the board with respect. Please state your full name and town of residence. Please limit your comments to 4 minutes. Please submit any questions that we were unable to answer this evening to the Board of Education with your name, address, telephone number, and preferably email where you can be contacted. Your questions will be answered within a reasonable time frame. And lastly, individuals offering citizen comment are not permitted to make personal attacks on any district employee, board member, other testifier, or member of the public. Thank you, Mr. President.
May I have a motion to approve moving into public comments?
Peterson move for approval to open public comments.
Second, Ms. Moore.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Boyle, do we have anybody on the list for public comments?
Yes, Mr. President. Coach Kenneth Smith.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Coach Kenny Smith. I'm the president of Winslow Travel Basketball and also the director of Winslow Baseball, Youth Baseball. Number one, what I wanted to do is thank the board and Dr. Poteet for always being in the corner for the Winslow basketball program. This year, our sixth grade team, sixth grade boys, won the South Jersey Championship. And also, our sixth grade girls won the Camden County Championship. We also sent both the girls' fourth grade team and the boys' fourth grade team to the championship, but they came up a little short. But I told the girls at the game, from now on, if anybody in Camden County want to win the championship, they're going to have to come through Winslow.
Winslow winning, baby.
So I wanted to give that report. And also, this year for baseball, this is our second year to have baseball back in Winslow Township after the people that was running the baseball sent the baseball to Hamilton. And like I said in another meeting, I said, we can't have that because Hamilton is a choice school. That means anybody that's good at baseball that plays in Hamilton is going to wind up playing for Hamilton. And if you notice, the numbers of kids that are playing for baseball this year has went up. Also, in our program, the number of kids have went up. Last year, we only had 35 kids. This year, we have around 50. And also, what is great, which I've been fighting for a while, we have a connection with the high school coach. So he's going to help our coaches out so that when the kids get to him, they know what they're doing. So I appreciate everything y'all doing, and I appreciate y'all having backing, not just me, because when you back me, you back the kids, and you always have the kids' interest in your hearts. So thank you.
Thank you, Coach. I really want to thank you for restoring baseball in this community. As you well know, over the years, the high school program was dying off. This is the highest number of young men we've had in baseball in a long time. So we appreciate what you're doing, because without your program, we don't have a feeder system. And any other programs, you know, of course, I know the basketball, the boys and girls, particularly in the area with the girls, because again, our girls program need to continue to build, but through your program, it will be sustained at the high school and middle school. So I want to personally and publicly thank you for what you guys are doing, because for many years, we just didn't have the adults out there who were willing to put their time in. And I know it takes a lot of your time and time from your family, but I want you to know that we truly appreciate what you're doing out there in the community. And thank you.
Debbie Murphy.
Good evening. I'm Debbie Murphy, and I live in Sicklerville. I said at the last board meeting that the marching band was performing at Barnegat. Both marching band and the guard did really good. The band scored a 72, and we were less than a point away from being in first. And then the guard came in first with a score of 83, and they were ahead of the second place group by at least 10 points. So we're really doing good, and we're only halfway through the season, so there's still more to come. And then another reminder, tomorrow night is opening night for the musical Mamma Mia. It's at the auditorium in the high school. Tomorrow night is student night, and for students, the tickets are discounted to $4 a student. And for the first time this year, we are doing online ticket sales as well as ticket sales at the door. So the link for the online ticket sales is on the school website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, that concludes those that have signed up to speak this evening. Anybody in the waiting room? Technology?
Mr. President, may I congratulate Ms. Murphy? Because without Ms. Murphy, we wouldn't know what's going on too much with the band and the color guard, and she's here faithfully every board meeting, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And because you are representing the band, you guys are continuously doing extremely well. I don't do Thursday nights with the young people. I'll be there Saturday night, but I'll see you. All right. But thank you. Thank you.
I'll be there. Hey, Dr. Poteet?
Yes.
I would just recommend that my friend, Mr. Thomas, would just add that to the list, the growing list of Winslow winning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You see me writing it down?
Yes, sir. You didn't run out of ink, did you?
No.
All right.
I got pen.
May I have a motion to adjourn public comments?
Peterson move for approval to adjourn public comments.
Second, Ms. Martin.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Yes. We do. Yes.
All right.
Let me take it. Good evening, everyone. There is in speaking with Dr. Poteet, the need for a short executive session this evening. In accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, the Winslow Township Board of Education will be adjourning into an executive session on March 26, 2025 at approximately 8:25 p.m. Of the 9 exceptions which permit us to go into executive session, we'll be utilizing exception number 1, which has to do with matters of confidentiality, either by federal law or state statute, and that would be a general discussion on student matters per Dr. Poteet. Again, it would be about 15 to 20 minutes in duration. And we may or may not be taking action coming out of executive session. Thank you, sir. Probably not.
Can I have a motion to move into executive session?
Peterson move for approval to move into executive session.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Ms. Dredden? Ms. Claude?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. McManus?
Yes.
Ms. Peterson?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
And Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Motion has carried.